So past life regressions. Yes, it's all fun and games to see a past life that you've had, or that you've experienced, and how that ties into this life, or just something fun. Like I've mentioned before, sometimes people just want to see if they have been a mermaid, or if they've practiced magic before, if they've lived, they feel called to like a certain area of the world, and they just want to know if they've lived in that area, and that's why they are called to it. But what's interesting is, I have such a different experience with past lives as a practitioner. So one time I had a client, it was a psychic client, and she wanted to know how her relationship with her current boyfriend was going to go. And as a psychic, we all know we kind of get the clients who want to know about love and work and career, and that's normal. That's why, you just want to know the future. And so I get those as well. So she's coming to me about that. And one thing about me, so yes, I can do that, but it's much deeper than that. That's really not my bread and butter, just to find out if your ex is going to come back. And that's why people come see me sometimes. They want to know if their ex is going to come back. What you're going to get when you come see me is yes, I can answer that question, but it's really I call them soul readings, because your soul is going to tell me why you want your ex to come back. What is underlying why, not the ex, themselves, but the underlying reason why. So I digress. So she came to see me, and we were talking about, her boyfriend. They had just moved in together. There were no concerns. It was just something within her was just kind of having second thoughts, even though the relationship was fine. And so as I'm talking to her, everything was fine. As a psychic, I'm going, I don't know why you are having concerns about this relationship. I don't see anything wrong with this relationship, but you're obviously feeling a certain way. So I'm honoring that, and I'm just trying to get to the bottom of it. And as I'm going deeper, her guys said, nope, there's something else here that she actually needs to see herself. And I know that to be okay. So as a psychic, I'm seeing that for her. She actually needs to see it. And her guys were like, she needs a past life regression. And that's another thing. Your guides are very specific with me. So there are times, I don't know how many times, but enough, where you come to me for a psychic reading, and your guides are like, no, we need a past life regression. And when that happens, I feel, I can feel the shock of the client, because there's a lot of other, things. They're just like, well, it's like going to a doctor, and your doctor's saying you need a follow-up appointment with a specialist. And you're like, wait, what do you mean? Why can't we solve this here? So I feel that. And then, of course, there's like the money, like the past life regression costs money. I love doing what I'm doing. Of course, I do it because it's an income, but that's not why I do it. So if your guides are suggesting a past life regression to me, you get a past life regression. So, and it's on me. So I don't charge for that. I'm not upselling anything. So if we're in a session and your guys are like, you need a past life regression, I'm going to offer you a past life regression, and it's going to be on me. It's going to be free of charge. Because that's just, if you would have came in on a past life regression, I could have done it that way. But since it's this way, it is what it is. So I eat the cost. It doesn't matter. But everybody has free will. So I am very well aware that, you've come in for a psychic reading, and now I'm suggesting a past life regression. And that's scary to some people, a past life regression, just because it is, you don't know, like a past life, or, sometimes people aren't ready for that. So I leave it up to them. But I have to say 100% of the time when I do offer that service, to people who, your guys are saying that you need it, you get it. You get it, and you work through whatever it is that you work through. I counsel you and talk to you about it, get you ready for it, prepare you for it. And I'm trying to think, but no, I haven't had anyone who said, nope, this is it. This is where we're going to stop. They do the past life regression, and it does turn out that, yeah, they needed to see that. So going on, we scheduled a past life regression, and we did it. And what was so interesting with her is that it was a section of her. We went to the Akashic Records. That's where they told us we need to go, to Akashic Records, because we needed to view specific lives. So we went to the Akashic Records and we asked them, okay, well, we were told that we need to be here. What does she need to see? And so we got her book, and there was a section of her book that they wanted her to see. And so in this section of the book were a couple of lives that they needed her to see. And what's so interesting is in these lives, she had a soulmate that her soul was desperately trying to help. And so she was helping her soulmate. It was a masculine figure. And I do that because you brought to see why. I can't explain it, but in each life, he hurt her. I mean, horrifically. In one life, she was a child, and he was watching her, and he kidnapped her, and he did some things to her, took her into the woods, did some things to her, and killed her. In another life, he was her husband, and he stabbed her in her stomach, killed her. So there were these horrific lives, and what her guides wanted her to see was in each life she was carrying this soul. Eventually, and each life we saw was more horrific, and it was like Jesus, and she immediately she understood, and she was like, yeah, I remember. This was my friend. I wanted to help him, and I just took it upon myself to try to help him. And the last life was so bad that they would not allow us to see it. But it was really bad. And when she got into it, she was like, yeah, this was such a bad life. And this was the life where Source was like, no more. And Source took him away and reabsorbed him, which I find very interesting, because how awful of a soul must you be for Source to say, I can't have you running around anymore. You have to come back and do some healing within me. So that's what we found. And in that past life, it turned into a healing session because I was able to convince her to leave all her pain and worry. And she had a bunch of stomach issues that she was having currently in this life. But it turns out it was from all these lives, because the soul that she was with was doing a lot of stomach, like stabbing her in her stomach, stuff like that in her other lives. So I was able to convince her to leave her pain and everything in that last life where it belonged. And what was also interesting was that she was crying because she didn't want to. She had carried it, and she thought that if she left it there, then she wouldn't remember her friend anymore. And it was a lot of coaxing, but eventually she did leave her friend in that life, and was able to come out feeling better, lighter, more okay with the decision. And it wasn't even like her human, it was her soul. It was her soul that was grappling with leaving her friend behind. As a human, she didn't know who this person was, of course. But yeah, so past life regressions are very interesting and very healing. So I don't know, I just thought I should share that.